But I'm trying to think of any other questions we could ask Max that we talked about earlier. We might want to touch base on with him.
Oh, you guys should both talk about A Quiet Place because you both saw it.
Oh, I really liked it.
I liked it, but I was like right in the middle. I wasn't super crazy about it, but I did like it. I enjoyed myself.
Okay.
Yeah. What was your favorite part?
Ooh, the kid dying in the beginning was pretty great.
You like that?
I really like that. There was a lot of stuff. It really drew me in. The opening really drew me in. I think the beginning was even better than the ending. The ending, I spoiler alert.
This is your chance.
Emmett hasn't seen it. I'm not going to say that, actually.
Oh,
you're right.
I'm probably not going to see it.
No. You should see it.
Maybe.
I'm not going to tell him. Anyway,
we can't talk about
the
it
ending.
because of you, dude.
The ending, there was a certain character. I didn't like what they chose to have happen with that character. And I would have liked to have... I would have changed the ending. But I did love the movie. I think it was great. I think it was original. But the ending I would have tweaked a little bit. And also the family's response to that, what happened at the end, I think I would have changed a little bit. But yeah, it was a very solid movie, and I like how original it was. And I'm really curious to see what other things John Krasinski is going to work on in the future. Because I really like his work as a director, and I think he's a great actor, of course. And as a writer, too. It's really interesting to see him kind of evolving, going from, like everyone says, oh, isn't that the guy from The Office? It's like, it's amazing seeing that transition from being Jim from The Office to being like this serious director, like this big-time director. It's an incredible, journey to watch.
Yeah, I didn't know he had it in him, to be honest.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin from The Office. I want to see him do that.
Yeah.
Remember Kevin?
Vaguely. Which one is he?
He was the kind of tubby guy.
Oh. Too many weird
See
Office.
the big round balding guy?
Yep.
I don't think he's got much in him.
Kevin Malone. I'd like to see Kevin Malone's Quiet Place.
What's your quiet place, Kevin?
With a bag of chips.
Oh, no.
But yeah, I thought it was really good, man.
I like when the old guy goes,
You saw that from the trailer? The old guy who yells?
Oh, yeah.
I see, I didn't like that part. I didn't believe it.
His wife got, like, not spoiler alert again.
Yeah.
His wife got, like,
Spoiler alert.
his wife got, like, disemboweled.
Nice.
And then they, like, walk up on it, and John Krasinski can just see this guy, like, literally at his wit's end. Like, his wife just got mutilated, and, like, they, like, just stumble upon it, and he's, like, covered in her blood, and like then he like screams, and any noise attracts the things that hurt them.
Yeah, but in that scene, it felt like to me that he was waiting. I could feel him waiting for John Krasinski to come upon his wife's dead body.
Yeah.
Like it just seemed too.
It didn't just happen,
like
yeah.
she had, I could see that she was a fresh death there. Like that clearly would just kind of just happen. But he was standing there, like looking at her, and then he looks up, and then once he sees,
he's like,
kid. Really, dude? Couldn't you just wait like 5 minutes to yell?
Seriously, what a dick. That guy was a douche.
Yeah.
He was not
an asshole.
Yeah, he really screwed it up for the fan.
Totally.
Well, yeah. Was everything in their house like solar powered? I was trying to figure that out. Or did they have they didn't have a generator? Because they had there was no power anywhere else.
Yeah.
But like their farm had all this power.
Yeah, they had some very quiet power source.
Yeah, it wasn't a generator. It couldn't have been.
I don't know.
Batteries, maybe battery power.
Yeah, probably battery power. I was I was thinking of a couple ways that they could have been more offensive to the monster, because this is a monster, and I think we can talk openly about like the characteristics of the monster without giving away any plot points.
Yeah, I think everyone already knows.
Yeah, this is a monster that basically like can't see and can't smell. You don't have to worry about that so much, but its hearing is like very acute. Like its earlobes make up a huge portion of its head. They're like pulsating and just pulsating and disgusting, and like it does a lot of zoom ins on these big earlobes of the monster. You know what?
Great description.
You like the description?
Big pulsing earlobe.
Yeah, was that to happen? Remember?
Yeah. It's all gooey, and like it literally zooms in like up the ear.
That's good.
It was very much like Alien when you have all the dripping juices.
I love that.
It was.
Like the mouth. It was
I
like
I
I haven't seen anything like that since Alien or Predator being so graphic.
Right.
know?
There were a couple scenes that reminded me of Alien.
Yeah.
I think you might know a couple that I'm talking about. Like the big pulsating earlobe.
Oh God!
But yeah, man.
It's all pulsating.
But no, yeah, you said they could use like noisemakers to lure it, and so
That's what I wanted to happen.
Yeah.
Is the first thing I would think of would be to like dig a ditch and like throw something noisy, like dig a ditch with a bunch of spikes at the bottom.
Throw
or
it in
something.
the ocean.
Or throw and then throw like a timer in it, and then the thing would bolt towards it because it just bolts towards any noise.
Yeah, going to like that. Well, like it could bust out of the thing, the silo, but the like a canyon or something. Yeah, imagine
just off the edge
throw
of
a bunch of fucking alarms down there and or some fireworks or.
I would think to do that before I covered my whole house in felt. You know, like what these people did.
Drape myself in felt.
I suppose I could drape myself.
Like a pulsating earlobe, Jerry. A pulsating earlobe. It was out there, buddy.
Yeah, these Seinfeld references.
Shit, but yeah, it was. They did a very good job though. The basement scene was alien reminiscent.
Yes, very much so.
The water and
totally.
Yeah,
I liked it. I liked that scene.
Did it get right up close to her face and she went or something? Yeah,
pretty much.
Pretty close. There was. I don't want to tell you too much, but there was a little barrier, but it wasn't much.
Okay.
It was. You gotta see it, man. You're gonna like it.
I know she like gives birth on the tub or whatever. That's in the trailer all over the place.
Pulsating ears.
Pulsating ears in the tub.
Yeah, pulsating ears. So, they gotta get a big swab to clean those ears out.
Ben really loves those ears.
Yeah, I'm easily amused, man.
Does the baby cry when it's born?
Yeah, you're gonna have to watch it.
All right.
Yeah, we're not gonna give it anything.
Let's just say that does pose a problem.
The big
to the
pulsating cry,
you
know, attracts the monster.
Pulsating.
Remember, the baby is the one with the pulsating earlobes when it comes out.
The baby's a little shit. Yeah. That fucking baby, man. Oh, John Krasinski. Why did you have to touch her? Why? Great movie.
I do like that. Everyone sees in the trailer the kid. When they're like walking along that path, he just stops and pulls out the toy.
Yeah, that was straight dumb. Like,
and he even showed him in the beginning of the movie. Like, no, he's like the batteries.
Right,
that was actually kind of a stressful scene in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just little things like that.
Oh, that was a really
quiet.
good scene at the beginning.
The opening I loved. I loved the opening. I was like, whoa, this feels like what a Shyamalan movie should be.
Was anyone eating popcorn in your theater when you watched it? Because that opening scene was the quietest I've ever seen in cinema.
Yeah, I actually didn't really notice. There were a few times where I noticed people like snacking. But it wasn't a super filled up theater, so it was mostly silent for the majority of the movie.
Max said he heard what was it, Jump?
Yeah, so
because of
Ready Player One was playing in the next theater, and so like it was really quiet and then faintly in the distance, come on and jump, like just really, and it ruined the whole mood.
That's funny.
That's so funny.
Van Halen in a Quiet Place. That's you ever hear the Wizard of Oz thing where you play the Dark Side of the Moon and you sync it up with the third roar of the MGM Lion and you hit play and Dark Side of the Moon is supposed to sync up with the Wizard of Oz? Have you heard of that?
I remember something like that.
I remember doing that as a kid and with one of my friends and like playing Dark Side of the Moon and like syncing up like okay, third roar, then playing it. And then, and there's a few parts, it's like, we fall, and like Dorothy falls to the pigs. And like there's a few scenes where you're kind of like, oh, cool. Yeah. And it goes along with it, but I thought that'd be cool to find other movies you could do that with.
I bet the audio from Ready Player One syncs up with The Quiet Place.
Yeah, you do Van Halen, Women and Children First, and you sync that up with The Quiet Place.
It just drowns out the whole movie. It syncs up with it.
No, just the straight audio from the movie, from Ready Player One.
Everything syncs up perfectly.
All the battles and the dialogue.
I see, all my best friends are gamers while the family's sneaking around.
Oh, I want to see that. That's what I want to see. I hated Ready Player One.
You hated it? I had fun, but I didn't hate it that much.
I despised it.
I was trying to explain to Ben how bad Wrinkle in Time was.
Oh, you both saw it?
Oh my god. That's probably why I didn't dislike Ready Player One that much, is because I was immediately looking back on it so fondly. Oh my god, dude. There's so much to say.
Please.
It was
unload.
Emmett, go ahead. Emmett was the one to note that no one scene was connected to another, and I wish that were hyperbolic, but it's not. It was just like a weird patchwork of nothing caused anything else, and it was just like scene. Like now we're in a Himalayan rock salt lamp with Zach Galifianakis. Now we're flying around. Reese Witherspoon turned into like a green dragon, and she's flying the kids around. Now we're in one scene looked like a kid's Gap commercial. That girl was running up the invisible. It was an invisible stair set being like traced like an outline.
Yeah, I think the best way I can put it is it felt like it was trying to be like the Phantom Tollbooth or something, where it's like a young kid's journey, and who each sort of level and scene is a different moral lesson. right? But nothing made any sense. There were no lessons. There were no themes.
It sounds very disjointed and terrible. Like, I could tell from the trailer it was going to be awful.
It's just a bunch of shit.
But, I mean, I didn't even have any tiny faith in it. I knew it was going to be terrible.
Whatever point the book had, it was completely lost in the movie. Because I know the book's supposed to be a great book, so I don't know how it's...
It was like, the only way you could gather what the point was supposed to be was at the end scene, which was the only actual scene in the movie.
Yeah,
which is where the girl sort of... And there's, I don't care about spoiler alerts for this. This thing is below spoiler alerts. The possibility of spoiling anything.
You'd be doing
for
them a favor, really.
Yeah. You guys don't have to waste your time.
It's a cautionary tale.
It is. It's a exact cautionary tale. But this girl, at the end... she like finds out that she doesn't need to be perfect or something. Like she's in this big neural network.
Right.
Charles, what's his name?
Oh, what was his name?
Charles Wallace.
Charles Wallace.
So this kid's name is Charles Wallace. I don't know if that's his first name and his middle name or just his full first name or something, but they say the whole thing constantly. Charles Wallace.
Every time they address him,
every
Charles
time
Wallace.
they address
this little like douchebag 5-year-old that has like a vest on.
God.
Again with the kids Gap commercial.
Yeah.
So Charles Wallace of Gap, he was like putting down his older sister, and it was like really dumb. Like
he turns evil.
You'll never be good looking. You'll never be. And his eyes are like all yellow and electric, and he's in this big, like I said, like a neural network. He's like inside of her brain. and this girl like is looking at a version of her that's just like she has straightened hair and like her clothes are a little bit nicer, I guess. And this is supposed to like ruin her self-confidence, but I guess it doesn't. And she realizes she doesn't need to be like that, and she she's like, wait, no, I'm good like how I am. I look good how I am, and so that empowers her to defeat Charles Wallace. Somehow, I forget what she does, but
she kills him with kindness, right? She's like, I still love you, blah blah
yeah.
blah. But and then there's like an uncomfortably large Oprah Winfrey.
Oh, boy.
Huge
not,
Oprah.
Yeah, she's not like giant huge, but she's just like like just big enough to like where she could like pick you up.
Unsettled.
You know, yeah.
She could pick you up with one hand and a little bit of strength in those biceps. She was in the backyard.
She could do weights with you. You know?
Yeah,
it was weird.
And I don't know if I've seen her act in anything else, but she was not a very convincing.
She was not good.
Yeah.
A lot of close-ups of her like weird, crappy
makeup.
Yeah, it wasn't even makeup. It was like what were those things? Those like sparkles they used to put on jeans.
Oh, like bedazzled.
She was bedazzled. Literally, her face was like bedazzled.
I'm wearing bedazzled jeans right now.
Oh, nice.